Did you ever watch Ocean's 11 and wonder to yourself, hey, forget this cool heist. I want to know what Danny Ocean's fitness routine is like? Or did you watch Inception and wonder to yourself, hey, forget this dream heist. I want to know what Cobb likes for breakfast? If you like the least interesting parts of crime movies, then Crime 101 is the movie made for you. So, Crime 101, starring Chris Hemsworth, is about an elusive thief who, while eyeing his final score, encounters a disillusioned insurance broker at her own crossroads. As their paths intertwine, a relentless detective trails them, hoping to thwart the multi-million-dollar heist they are planning. I love a good cops and robbers movie, just as much as the next guy. So I sat down for this all excited, man. Crime 101 starts off really well. And the best stuff in this movie is unfortunately also just the stuff in the beginning of the movie, which is the first 10 minutes or so. It's a really good heist, high stakes, intense. It reminded me of the heist opening sequence in Drive, one of my favorite movies, where, also set in LA, like it's very, very high octane and like things are happening by the second and you're kind of gripped. But unlike Drive and other crime thrillers that do a really good job of starting with a great heist and then build the tension among the characters while also simultaneously centering them around the next big theft or confrontation, Crime 101 immediately loses all that tension and just becomes a Hallmark movie about the personal lives of all these characters. So first off, there are very few actual action scenes in this movie. There is the great opening heist, there is a midpoint chase sequence, and then there is some action in the final 10 minutes or so. That's it. If you are going into this movie wanting to see a thrilling chase fest or cat and mouse game, you will be disappointed. Okay, so what do you actually get in the movie? After the cool heist, the main robber with a moral code, James, his story, instead of showing us how he's building up to the next heist, all the interesting ways in which he's figuring everything out, it just becomes a will they, won't they rom-com for the most part with this girl he meets. The brutal mistake in the movie is that they never actually spend time to explain why James has this moral code and why he chooses to rob the people that he robs, what history caused him to become this way, nothing. You just get rom-com drama and a couple of obligatory scenes that kind of thinly connect what is being set up as the next final heist. Okay, so hot on his tail, or kind of lukewarm on his tail, is Detective Lou, played by Mark Ruffalo. Lou's story is very little about him doing detective work, and it's actually for the most part shows his rocky marriage and then his tepid home life and then him trying to get back into fitness by doing yoga. Seriously, there is 10 minutes of yoga stuff in this movie. And then there is all kinds of drama happening at his precinct because all the people at the precinct think that he has lost his way and they kind of don't take him seriously. Now then you have his yoga friend Sharon, played by Halle Berry, who also has a connection to the final heist, but again, instead of spending time building that, her storyline is about how aging women are treated in the workforce, and there is a huge pointless subplot about her abusive colleagues and her boss and her trying to figure out how to fight that, again with a couple of scenes connecting her to that final heist. All three of these are interesting stories on their own, but the problem is none of them belong in a movie called Crime 101. Hey, here is some Crime 101 for you, makers of a movie with that name. Make a movie about crime. What exactly do a budding romance or a marriage breakdown or office politics bring to a movie that is being marketed as an action heist movie? This leads to the second big problem in this movie, which is that it is way too long. It is a 2.5 hour movie that honestly doesn't even have enough interesting things to justify a 90-minute movie. Honestly, the best part, and what would have helped this movie greatly, is the parallel story of a young reckless thief, Ormond, played by Barry Keoghan, and how he's at odds with James, But the actual crime in this movie is how brutally that plot gets abandoned. Does that make Crime 101 a complete disaster? Not really. The night scenes in LA look lovely. It is shot very beautifully. Although during the day, they use a weird camera choice that makes LA look like the center of a depression medication commercial. There is honestly nothing great in the movie, and it is just death by 1,000 diamond cuts. Its stubborn, confusing focus to choose the least interesting parts to showcase about people connected to a robbery is just mind-boggling. And the crazy choice to make it a 2.5-hour movie but fill it with soap opera storylines while wanting people to think this is a crime movie is just so bizarre. Anyway, Crime 101 is a time thief that wastes too much of your time for a couple of good action scenes. 2 out of 5 diamonds for this bore fest. What did you think of Crime 101? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel for more movie content. Thanks for watching.